Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, at Pune in Maharashtra. Not visual. Yeah.
Now, okay.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
So very good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. So we are meeting very first time. So could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. This is Biswaban Rana, and I hail from Uttarakhand.
Okay.
Yeah,
You are
ma'am.
the second person with whom I'm a third person, with whom I am conversing.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. May I know something about yourself, please?
Yes, yeah. First you introduce yourself, then I will.
So, I am Biswaban Rana. I hail from Uttarakhand, and basically, my district name is Uttarkasi. And professionally, I am a government teacher, LT English.
That's good. You are
Yeah,
the second teacher from Uttarakhand.
yeah, ma'am.
First time I had a conversation with uh, Prem
Prem Singh Rawat. Yeah,
Prem
madam.
Singh Rawat. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have watched your videos, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for watching. And now let me introduce myself.
Sure,
I'm
ma'am.
Sandhya Tiwari. I'm situated in Thane, Maharashtra. And I could now earlier I was a teacher. Now I am completely homemaker. Yes, and I have two kids. Not kids, they are grown up. Both are pursuing their master's degree, and both are sons. That's all
Okay,
about me.
okay, ma'am. At present time, you are living at Pune in Maharashtra.
Yes,
Okay, that's good, ma'am. That's good, ma'am.
yes. Uh, Maybe you have seen my many videos.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure, I'm watching your video.
Yeah. Yes. So, how type of difficulty do you find in your watching teaching time
Ma'am, pardon, please.
when you teach the children? How type of difficulty do you face?
Okay, whenever I teach my students,
Yes.
okay, ma'am, whenever I meet my students and I teach in classrooms, I teach my students in very frankly as a friend. Because you know that, suppose that if I'm very strict in my classroom, then how can my dear students understand me? Because I have to be very 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 simple, so that my student can understand me. Otherwise, they will be scared to me. So my motive is that how can learn my dear students in very simple way. So, ma'am, simply whenever I get a chance to teach my students, then I just apply very simple things, simple tricks. I tell my students just speak very simple sentence like please come here, please go there, please hurry up and have a seat, and simple sentence, simple words. So if if we'll use very difficult kinds of vocab and sentence with my students, then how can they speak with me? They can't speak because ma'am, every student has a trait. How can I ask my teachers? So simply, I apply very simple technique
Yes, sir. Your video is
with my
started,
students.
and I am very glad to see you, hear you, because this is a good teacher's quality. I can say this is a very because if there is no atmosphere, and if you use a hard word, hard sentences, so children will not able to understand. So how can they answer you? So this is very
Yeah,
good
sure.
way to teach them, and when you will friendly as well as you strict too. So this combination is make your children open with you and ask very easily any question. That is a very good way to teach them.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually,
So
very well that's where I'm teaching here is parents are depend on only agriculture. So some of students are very very poor. So whenever I teach my students, every time I tell my students, you can ask me question any times. Suppose that I'm living in your place, you can ask me any kinds of word and sentence. Whenever I meet you, a place at two times, you can frankly can ask me. There is no fear because I'm teaching you as a friend. If you will scare to me, then how can you improve yourself? So, ma'am, being a teacher, my motive is that just learn very simple way, ma'am. Just speak very simple sentence. So nowadays, whenever I tell my students, speak with me. Simple way, just have a seat, keep your books, and have a lunch, have a dinner. Just use the simple kind of sentence. So most of students follow me. Ki, sir, I'm using such kind of sentence, and most of the students say, sir, I'm not able to use because they can use a word in proper way. So I mean to say that, madam, being a teachers, how can we teach my students in proper way? So we should use a very simple kinds of word and sentence from my beginnings, so my students can learn properly. So, madam, would you tell me some things? How can improve ourselves, and how can we use very good technique with my students? Man, please explain.
Actually, sir, you already try to give them environment to speak and to learn. So if you they read, you make them reading in the class. You ask them to read any books in your class.
Yeah, ma'am, definitely.
Yes, so this is the good way. If you ask them only daily basis, one paragraph of their book chapter, one chapter, and
Sure.
they translate each other. You make a group, little
Yeah,
group,
sure.
and every weekly, two times, twice in a week, you make a group and you give them a topic and a group discussion.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
You make a group discussion, and you ask them to make two to five questions for each child, and in that group discussion they should ask that question, and immediately second person, they are not able to answer, it's okay, no problem, but at least you try. And one student is not able to answer them, then you pass that second student, and like that they listen group discussion, and they catch each other's words and sentences, and they eager to ask the question in group discussion. That the way they prepare themselves with very they take interest and very enthusiastic, they try to prepare these five questions, and they prepare answer as well. At the same time, they ask whatever question they ask, they must know that answer too. If anybody not able to answer, so he answer them that question. So that is very good way to learn, they make them learn.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Such kind of techniques will help me while I'm teaching my students. It is very good
Yes.
idea, ma'am. So, ma'am, being a teachers, in fact, my motive is to teach my students how can they learn very easy way, very simple way, ma'am. Because if I'm teaching my students, if I use very difficult word and difficult sentence, then how can they speak with me? They can't speak because their fundamental is not clear. So I mean to say that we should use very simple way. By little, they can improve their self. So, ma'am,
Sir, first of all, you should check their level, how much they understand, and after that, you according to that, you ask them to make sentences and group discussion. And one more thing, you make for vocabulary, you give them only one sentence, five sentence, two sentence on daily basis, two sentence, word not sentence, two words, like ready, that
yeah,
is
sure.
ready, and you ask them sleep, and you ask them to make sentence use of that word in their sentences, like I am getting ready, I get ready, I got ready, like that. So they use this sentence word in their sentence, very simple words.
Yeah,
I got ready before 5 minutes ago to reach school, to come to before coming the school, I got ready before 5 minutes, and I was getting ready now to for the school. So my parents were asking me to do something, so I refused, like a story. You ask them make five sentences for each word, and you only to give them two words, and ask them. So on that basis, daily basis, they only use word and make five sentence, and five sentences on group discussion. You give them a small topic like a story. If their level is like first standard, second standard, or fourth standard, so according to that, you give them a story, and you same story for all those children. one story, and weekly, and you ask them ki first you read, I'm going to ask question from that. So all those children prepare, and any question, if you make 10 question, 5 question, and you ask in the class, from that story, same story, only one story. So that the way you can create an environment to teach your children, and your children maybe gradually learn something, and they will started open to each other. Because sometimes it's happens children don't one child is a very bright child, and one is shy person, and some children are very active to ask the question, some are not active. So person who is active, they ask many questions to the teacher, and some students are a very shy person, so he is not able to ask. And if you play that game and ask like that questions, all children mix together and started opening each other, and they involve in that group, and they can learn.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, ma'am. Such kind of technique will help me while I'm teaching my in classrooms. So, ma'am, apart from this, let me ask you one things. Because nowadays English spoken has a vital role in our daily life. English is very essential. Whenever we get a chance to meet, any stranger, suppose that if I'm going to market and public places, then ma'am, how can we speak English in fluently? Because being a teacher, ma'am, I am very curious to learn English. How can we learn and how can we speak very fluently in front of the people, ma'am? Because it's my requirement. So please, would you tell me something about?
Yeah, sir, this is only need to practice speaking part. If you speak with your children on daily basis repeatedly, whatever daily routine, daily question, if you on daily basis you talk to any person in a day 15 minutes, that is going to help you, because it's not only speaking. Quietly you read, write. Many people are good at writing and reading vocabulary, but that those all activities don't work for speaking part. It is most important to converse strangers, different kind of people. So it will work for you, sir.
Yeah,
same
sure,
same we are all are doing these days in this platform, on this platform, because I also want to enhance my communication skills in very fluent manner. So it is only possible for speaking.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Miss M. And because ma'am, nowadays, I'm also following lots of YouTube channels. Uh, so because ma'am, in the modern era, English, in fact, very important role, ma'am. So
Yes.
because being a teachers, it's my duty. How can I teach and how can I speak in very fluently and in very impressive way? So
And
I mean, yeah, yeah,
sir, one thing you also can do, you give your children rhyming words.
okay, ma'am.
Rhyming words means related to like cat, mat, rat, like this. Cat, mat, hat is ready, is a rose, dose, nose. Only there is one letter you we should change, like cat, mat, hat, rat, bat. These all
Yeah,
sentences is related each other. Only you need to change one letter. So this way, children will learn very fast. And
yeah,
like
sure.
a fun type, you make a cheat, and you immediately show the children that cheat, and you ask them. You make the sentence immediately.
Yeah, sure,
Only
sure.
only related to their lessons, because they have lesson. They have a book. So only you ask them read those chapter, which chapter is in their book, and you take words from that book only, and you show them. You try to make sentences. Immediately you show, and immediately you ask the questions. Whatever the chapter is will be over, and after that the teacher give them homework. You ask you complete your assignment. So you after completing that chapter, you play the game related to those words. You ask that chapter to read, and you take debate point, debate question. You make yourself and you ask them. You debate on all those questions together. So that way is very good, because you have already ready-made topic, not need to find other from other way.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. It will also help me. So nowadays, ma'am, I also watch your YouTube channels. And you let me tell you one things on the being a teacher on the occasion of Teacher Day. I also running a YouTube channel English with Bisu sir. So because madam, English is very important in our daily lives. Whenever you
Yes.
meet any stranger and you may be in interview, you may be faced in front of publics. So English, English is really very important. So we
Yes.
should make a practice. Practice, without practice, madam, we can't do nothing. Because I also have mentioned on my discussion box. Being a teacher, I am a learner and I am very curious to learn English because madam, English has a treasure which has no ends.
Yes.
So we can learn, madam. We can eventually we can learn English if we will make practice. Practice makes a man perfect. Without
Yes.
practice, yeah, And apart from this, because madam, here is no atmosphere where I'm teaching here because here is the rural areas, and I live alone here. But even then, I try to madam, how can I speak? Who can talk with me? Because we will have to make the good environment. So that's why we can English we can make our English very strong. Otherwise, if we'll uh, otherwise we cannot improve ourselves. So I mean to say
Yes.
that we'll have to take little by little steps to improve our English in very easy way. That's why.
Yes, it is not 1 day and 6 months journey and 1 year journey. Maybe it will take 1 year, someone take 2 years, 3 years. It's only depends on our how much time we spend with this English, and conversation is most important. Listening and speaking is most important. If you don't have time to read and write, it's okay, but at least you listen and you try to speak 15 minutes, 20 minutes, yeah, half hour daily on daily basis. So that is most important part. Yes,
Yeah, sure,
earlier, this in this era, people are going to one country to another country for the job.
sure, ma'am, sure.
Earlier it was not need. People are state on only their state, so that's why English was not required. But in this era, it is most important because all foreigners, other countries, company is coming in India, and you also go here and there in other country. So it is important, most important to know how to speak English, because our mother tongue is Hindi, so we always use that. And one of language we have our mother tongue. So
Sure, ma'am, sure.
yeah, but yeah, if you always speak and stick with content, definitely you will be improve your English and be a good speaker. If you
Yes.
try to your level best, if you give 100% to the English, however how much how possible, you should try. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Consistency, dedications is
Yes.
important role.
Yes. Yes, if you have breakable practice, it will not going to work for you. And if you with consistency and all the time, every day, you even you don't live speaking a single day. That is most important. If nobody will talk to you, you talk with your students, you talk to yourself. Sometimes it's happen. We stuck somewhere because of some work, and we don't have time to connect other person. So better than quite you speak yourself, you make a video yourself, because we all are learners. So not need to feel hesitation. Yes, but you don't stop a single day.
Yeah, sure, ma'am,
Yes.
sure.
Okay. So now, sorry, it is time to wind up because it's almost 24 minutes.
So, ma'am, it's a very happy moments. I can say that, one phrase is, I'm over the moon. It means I'm very happy to meet you because
Yes.
we can get lots of knowledge like this. So, thank you
Yes,
so much.
that's it. Yes, same here. And I hope this trip is work for you. And
Certainly, ma'am.
I'm very thankful to you for joining this session, and you spend your valuable time with me. Yes. So, okay, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Take care.
Take care, sir. Okay, bye bye.
Okay.